Guys, I'm just gonna give this a second. I'm gonna pick a filter that I like. Let's go with glow. Last time I did this live, I'm just gonna give it a minute to load up. I'm gonna actually do some breathing with you guys, if I can prop this thing up. Okay. Welcome to When the Stars Aligned. This is a live video, so maybe you'll jump in, maybe you'll watch the playback, but as some of you have probably seen, hey Sid! I have a commitment to post on every new and full moon and kind of just touch base on the energies. And I wanted to do this one live. I was starting to make a video and it felt like it wanted to be live. So we have just entered the full moon and the lunar eclipse last night, June 5th. However, maybe some of you know this already from your own experience, but the full moon energies typically impact us 3 days leading up to and 3 days after the full moon is what I personally find, especially if you identify with being more of a empathic soul or a highly energetic being. So we can be feeling these energies even a week or even a week and a half leading up to the fullness of the moon or the darkness of the moon. Now, this full moon is a very powerful one. And there's also a lunar eclipse happening that happened last night. It wasn't as strong of a lunar eclipse because of different aspects and the way the angles were hitting, but a lunar eclipse is still a lunar eclipse. And I love giving these updates and tuning into these updates myself. I have several astrologers that I adore following because it gives us an idea of the energetic forecast that's happening. Just like, you know, you turn on the weather to see if it's going to be a sunny day or a cloudy day. We actually have these tools to be able to track the psychic, energetic, psychological patterns of humanity at large. And a lot of that is being reflected in so many of the shadows that are surfacing right now. You know, the systemic racism that's being outed, and a lot of us are having our own personal experience with, and we're also going through a global initiation around. Also governmental policies, also police brutality, also everything that's happening with COVID. Like, there's a lot, and a lot of this is reflected as well in the astrological transits. But I just want to focus on the full moon in Sagittarius because that's what is feeling most aligned, and kind of what this is offering us. Because even if you didn't do a ceremony last night on the full moon, or if you never do ceremonies, that's fine. You don't have to do a ceremony to experience the potency of a full moon. A lot of us experience it without even maybe consciously knowing. But when you consciously know and you apply your awareness, you can start to utilize these natural cycles to aid your own growth, your own shedding, your own transformation. Now, this full moon in Sagittarius, when the moon is full, the moon is in full illumination, and it's shining a light very strongly upon what needs to be seen. And full moons are often a time of release. A new moon is when we're planting seeds in the darkness to grow. The full moon is an ending, a releasing, a culmination, a peak illumination. So within the energy of Sagittarius, Sagittarius is an archetype. You could see it as like the philosopher or the educator or the student of many cultures and bigger minded things. You know, Sagittarius wants to look at the whole world. It's like, well, what's happening on a conscious, evolutionary, collective level? Whereas Gemini, the polarizing force of Sagittarius, is more about what's local. You know, your siblings, your community, your network, the shop down the road, the conversations you're having in everyday exchanges. Both are imparting wisdom. And when we have a full moon in Sagittarius, it's like we are being asked, I feel, to allow this illumination to shine upon parts of our belief systems that are no longer serving us. Sagittarius can be very convincing. You know, we can convince ourselves of really knowing things. I don't know, I think about when I was a really annoying teenager. Maybe you have some of those annoying teenagers in your life where they think they know everything, right? And you're like, oh man, you're only 13 and I get it, like you're so passionate, that's amazing, and like let's talk when you're 25, let's talk when you're 30. And I'm sure some people think that way about me. But Sagittarius can be that. It's like so enthusiastic about the bigger vision and about the bigger ideals. But I feel like this full moon is asking us to totally reframe and take a second, third, fourth look at ideals and beliefs we may be carrying, and asking ourselves if those are really serving us moving forward. Letting go of overarching identities if they no longer serve. Allowing relinquishment or absolution, dissolution, dissolving, liberation of things that perhaps were really supportive, but now it's time to embrace a new chapter. And when we have this full moon combined with the lunar eclipse, lunar eclipses and eclipses often bring this current of reassessing our life path. And we get eclipses every year. It's not like it's a super rare thing. But often around this time, and we're moving into eclipse season in the next few weeks, it's going to be intense. It's just getting started, guys. Even if you don't believe it to be true, I would invite you to trust that part of you knows that deep clarity is coming through for you right now. That really powerful clarity is coming through for you right now around your purpose, around your soul mission, around who you truly feel yourself to be. And those can sound like really big, expansive things, right? But this is that Sagittarius mixed with the eclipse saying revolutionary understandings of our bigger picture, both within ourselves, within our souls, and the collective, because your individual soul is playing a part in the collective. And this is where we really start to see the impacts of the age of Aquarius rippling through humanity. The age of Aquarius is us rising as unified individuals. You're not a lone wolf if you're an individual. You're not a team player if you're highly individual. Actually, by owning your individuality and what makes you you, that is when you can best serve the community, the network, the collective, your family, your relationship, your clients, your work, your business. And I think that's a big thing that's also being released, is so many old systems we've built this security and this trust within. Old systems of economics, old systems of leadership, old systems of business. If you do A, B, C, you're gonna get success. And like, we're just flipping all that on its head and saying, what actually matters? It's the heart. It's how much soul am I bringing to what I'm doing. I don't care if I'm making millions of dollars. Like, what does it matter if I have a Ferrari? What does it matter if I have a massive mansion on the beach if I'm not in my heart? If I'm not an integral part of this inclusive community of the world? And a lot of cosmic forces, I'm not trying to sound at all like scary about this, but just bringing in some of that Scorpio medicine, I truly believe that ongoing in the future, we're not going to be able to avoid this. We're not going to be able to avoid it. Wherever we're being ignorant to the truth and our own personal truth, life is going to slap us. Personally, within our partnerships, within our collective, within our business, whatever is going to hit you the most. Probably you could see this in your birth chart. We can't ignore it. So something I wrote in an Instagram post the other day that I actually heard through a man that I've been really loving. I've known about him for a while now, but you know how people drift in and out of your sphere? I first saw this guy's video like maybe 5 years ago, his Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart. And he's come back in my frequency super hardcore, and I'm watching like a video a day, and it's so beautiful for my soul nourishment. And he said something I loved, and I kind of combined it with my own philosophy, but he said, we're in a place now, it's like, let go or be dragged. Let go of the shit, let go of the stuff that's not serving your highest purpose, let go of the false security, let go of the things that are not supporting your vibration, or be dragged, because the new earth is birthing, and it's fucking uncomfortable. It's not this, I'm gonna make my claims here. You're a sovereign being. I'm just speaking what I feel. You're always empowered to believe what you want to believe. But I truly don't feel it's like we're gonna meditate our way out of this. And it's like, yeah, the new earth is birthing. Let's all just like anchor it through our meditation into reality. Like, and like whole division, like, yes, and maybe there are people doing that who are like very monastic and leading that life, but I think for most of us, if we are a part of the Western world and we've some way benefited off this system, it's our role and duty and communal collective responsibility to see how can we be more inclusive and how can we open up to our greater truth and share that into what we're doing. And I don't think we can meditate our way out of this. I think that we all need powerful anchoring practices, embodiment, being really aware of where our food's coming from, what we consume, what we are, being very mindful of our consumption of media, our consumption of words, different thought leaders, you know, like what are we doing to be our own leader? And I feel this is a very strong thread of this full moon as well, is like no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. A lot's being revealed and we can't look away right now. Because if you keep looking, something in you is going to activate. That's the thing. It may hurt. It may hurt your soul. It may crack open these old beliefs you have. It may bring up different things for you to process, but that's what's needed. This is what all these personal development things are for. It's not just so we can like give ourselves a little gold star and say, yeah, I'm a good human because like I did personal development and like I'm super conscious and I know all these language and words and like I'm great. Like, how are we using it? I know I sound kind of projecty right now, but that's just what's real for me right now. And, you know, I've fallen in that boat before, and I've seen a lot of people in that boat too, in my own community, my own friendships, people I've known. It's like, we just can't do that anymore. We can't hide from the truth. And it's about how can we be integrated? How can we bring it into our bodies? How can we bring it into our work? How can we bring it into this inclusivity on a collective level? And I'm jumping around, guys. I'm gonna breathe for a minute. There is so much available in this full moon, I feel like, and in this lead up to the summer eclipses that are going to be happening. And I really want to like invite you to let this land. Even if it's uncomfortable, the stretchiness is high right now. Like, we are all energetically being supported with an incredible, malleable, energetic body. We are very malleable right now. And it's amazing to take advantage of that malleability to really understand what has meaning for me. What is my purpose? And your purpose, guys, isn't this whole like lofty thing of having to know one path. Your purpose is you. It's your soul essence. When you know your soul, when you see your soul, when you meet your soul, that's all you need. All you need to know is your soul, and you will always be moving in the direction of your purpose. So what takes you to your soul? There are some practices that are really powerful for that. Embodiment, I find, is one of the most fucking eerie, terrifying, transformational ways I have gotten to meet my soul. That may or may not resonate for some. I'm a very kinesthetic learner. I'm a very right-brained learner, and I'm very left-brained in some ways, but when it comes to shadow integration and energetic shifting and working with my patterns and blocks and fears, it's always through embodiment. That's the way that allows me to actually shift. And this is what I'll be doing in Temple of Honey with 6 women this round. There's 2 spots left currently. If you want to know about that, you can check it below. I'll add a link later when I'm at home. It's an archetypal embodiment journey. But yeah, like, what brings you to your soul? What allows you to meet both the illuminative, powerful, sweet parts of you and the shadowy depths of you, because the shadow is being illuminated right now on the planet, and none of us are immune to that. None of us have absolved all of our shadows, unless, again, maybe you're living like an incredibly monastic life. You probably wouldn't be on YouTube. I don't know, you probably would, I don't know, but we are all human beings, and we all have shadow. And none of us are like, well, I've already done that work. It's like we can continue to do that and let it take us deeper, because our shadow is actually our greatest asset to understanding what makes us strong. So I feel, and I'm experiencing, that there are a lot of answers available right now in a way that may have felt there have been a lot of maybe it's felt like there's been a foot on the brake. I feel like the foot's being taken off the pedal, and trust what's coming through for you. Really trust, because I think there's a lot of clarity in what's coming through for us all right now, in terms of purpose, in terms of what lights your soul up, in terms of what you are no longer willing to settle for, or things you've been settling for that just weren't in service to you, in relationships, in love, in your health, in your routines, in your any kinds of connections, in what you value, in your work. There's a lot of Venus energy going on right now, which is those things: love, finances, relationships. Yeah, it's like, trust it and move on it. This is a really beautiful time to act beneath the scenes. It doesn't have to be big, monumental, external, but like, we're in a very rich, effortless space right now to be setting new standards for ourselves and new visions for ourselves for these next 7 months. And the more work you do now, and it can be fun, there's going to be a lot more ease for you in a few months down the road. Whereas if you resist it now, it's going to be harder to move later, because there isn't going to be so much malleable energy. It's going to be more earth and solid. So like, this is the time. And if you're wanting support in that, you can reach out to me. Or just keep finding resources of people that are giving you really good content that you love, and journaling prompts and embodiment exercises, so that you can allow yourself to really make the most of this time. So that's my full moon in Sagittarius report. I'll see you guys on the next report, which will be a new moon in, let me work this out. So we're currently in June, it's July. It's gonna be a new moon in Cancer, which is the solar eclipse. Damn, that's gonna be a hot one. All right, lots of love to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this report. Let me know how you're feeling below. Get outside and sit with the moon, even if she's clouded by the clouds. Like, you can't see her fully, it's still gonna get through. Ground, be connected to the earth. Sagittarius is also a fire sign, so I would suggest anything that allows you to like move your energy. Go for a run, light some shit on fire. Not like anything too dangerous, you know, just like maybe write some things you're releasing and burn it in a safe container. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Ending these things is always so funny. Lots of love to you all. Sending blessings from my heart to yours, and sending blessings out to the collective at large right now. There's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of repressed trauma, especially for Black people, coming up on the surface right now that has been suppressed and ignored for far too long. So I invite us all as well to see how much we can deepen in true empathy and witnessing. If you have been in a position where, God, I feel so nervous talking about this, guys, because I just gotta follow my heart. If you have, you know, can acknowledge that you have been in positions where you haven't felt in danger because of the color of your skin. If you are in that category, get in another person's world. You know, we are all human at the end of the day. And some people who are human, who have a certain color of skin, have had to walk on this planet fearing for their life because of the color of their skin. And until we can all have empathy for each other and feel and love each other, maybe not all, but at least a large portion of us, to allow some shifts to happen, that's when we evolve. So I'm sending all my love to any souls that are in deep pain right now, regardless of your skin color. Just sending love to all of your hearts. I know this is messy and I'm just doing my best. But I invite us all to just ground to earth. Keep up with your practices. Keep up with your self-care. Keep caring for one another. Find forgiveness. Let go of what you need to let go of. Okay. Lots of love to all of you beautiful beings. You think I know how to end this?